We're going to talk about Jana Duggar's wedding in great detail today, and you won't want to miss the first part. Janet, the Duggar, who is the most private of the six, daughter is finally talking about the ups and downs of her feelings before going down the aisle during an exclusive chat with people Jana. She talked about her worries, fears, and the trip that led to her happy ever after. With Stephen Wisman will fall apart. Everything she said about her boyfriend, life, and how she got through it. Struggles to say I do in a beautiful party on August 15. But that's just at the start. We'll also take you inside. As stated, it was the sweetest wedding ever. Sister of Jana giving you all the interesting facts about who was at the wedding party, what Jana wore, and how big. The whole family got together to celebrate this happy event and talking about family. Fans of Duggar have been talking about one important lack Jill. Why wasn't it? She in Jan's wedding party, was this on purpose, or is there something more going on? Story. We'll break down what took place and, finally, what Jill had to say about it. We'll find out the interesting facts about the new life Jana and Stephen have started. They are together in Nebraska, moving into a cozy house. But there's a strange turn. There is no Jan's name on. What the heck is going on there? We've got it has all the answers. So click that. Click the subscribe button and stay tuned as we find out everything about Jana, the wedding of Duggar, and the start of a new era in her life. Today we're going to look at a moving trip that one of my favorite Duggar brothers talk about Jana Duggar, who is often called as the Duggar with the most secret children, finally telling her thoughts on the hard times she went through until she found her happily ever after it. An exclusive chat with people Jana, now 34, was honest about his fears, worries she had before she got married. W. Stevens in a beautiful wedding on August 15th in Prairie Grove, Arkansas. So, what was going on behind the? Let's look at scenes from Jan's love life. The person who has often been a subject of gossip about her love life showed that before they got married, Kayan with the wise guy, she was really worried about whether or not she would ever find the one who is the oldest daughter of Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar. Jana looked, as many of her younger brothers did, they got married when they were in their early 20s. The way to get married wasn't so. Being honest in her talk, Jana talked about how as she aged it became more important to find a partner, and I think her worries did too, because the older it gets, the more Gion. And I thought, okay, this isn't what's going on. Let me figure something out. Something else I might be meant to do. Something else she talked about at one point, she even thought that maybe she wasn't going to get married. Chose to focus on other things, such as getting into nursing school last year as a way to find meaning and direction in her life. But even as she poured herself, studying and going on dates around, she couldn't get rid of the thought that there was something missing. Jana agreed that she often wondered about herself. Are you having trouble? What's wrong? These questions were made worse by the fact that most of her brothers had moved down early, leaving her to wonder why their own love story seemed to be so late. Then in the second half of her in nursing school, Jana's luck changed. Got back in touch with Stephen Wisman, a man she had gone on a short date years ago. Stayed in touch a lot over the years. They talked on and off. But it wasn't until earlier this year that they got the way they felt about each other had never. And it was like, what are we? What are we still enjoy each other? Really care about each other? Jana remembered how persistent Stephen was. Real care for her won Jana over. Was impressed with how he dealt with her crazy family and stayed even though the threats to Jana Stevens' loyal support made it clear that he was the right one for her to think about her journey. Jana agreed that it had been. The trip was both hard and worth it. Everyone has a different idea of what marriage looks like. She said that even though it was sad lots of times to see her brothers get married young, she also saw the bright side. The extra time helped her get stronger, having good relationships with her brothers and friends, and look for chances that it might not have been possible if Jana shared that she got married earlier through. She has learned to trust in God's plan for her time, even if it doesn't match up with her own hopes and dreams. I don't always knew what the bigger picture was. But I trust that God knows what's best. For all of us, and for me. It's getting, she said. Now Jan and after they got married. Stephen can't wait to begin their next chapter of their lives together in Nebraska that is excited about finally moving into where they are and what they do every day. Years of waiting to start a life together. Jana is excited about the new season she said it with thanksgiving and hope. I've been looking forward to this sweet time and asked, what do you think? For a while, what do you connect with about Jana's journey? Her story about how she waited for the right. Next, we have some wonderful news from the Duggar family. Jana, the oldest Duggar daughter, has finally tied the knot. The knot with Stephen Wisman and what? The sisters are planning the cutest wedding ever. Stay with us as we talk about all the pretty details of Jana's big day, like who was at the wedding, party, what Jana wore, and how big. The whole family got together to celebrate this happily ever after. The Jana Duggar, 34-year-old star of Counting on Jedidiah, makes Stephen Wisman look bad in an event on Thursday, August 15th in Prairie Grove, Arkansas. The wedding that it was called both classic and elegant was joined by a huge 500 people, giving people a picture of the big. Jana and Stephen both have children. January is one of 19 children and Stephen was one of 13. So it wasn't a surprise that the list of guests was long. The bride looked at everything the princess and off-the-shoulder ivory satin ball gown as she walked down the aisle with her husband by her side. Janet Duggar with her dad, Jim Bob Duggar, said her dress was classy with a touch of feel of a princess, which is perfect for the day. Had a fairy tale-like feel to it. The aunts and sisters-in-law of Jan were there by her side to enjoy this happy event. Jessa Duggar Seewald, who served Jan's maid of honor, couldn't help but gushing about the wedding on Instagram. Story called it the sweetest wedding ever. Jessa wasn't the only one who shared her happiness. This is Jinger Duggar Vuolo took to Instagram to thank her sister's big day, calling Jana the most beautiful wife. But Jill Duggar, Dillard didn't play a formal part in the wedding party. She made sure to tell her she loves and best wishes for the new couple on social media. My sister is married, Jill wrote on her Instagram story. She wants Jana the best. Stephen, the event wasn't having an affair with Jan's sister. Joanna Forsyth said she was bald like a kid during the whole thing. Joanne talked about how happy she was for just got married. I'm so happy for you. Jan and Stephen both say that God is so good. This love story will last forever. Even though they were first tied in 2020, the couple didn't say anything about their relationship until their engagement just 2 months ago. As husband and wife, they've shared a look at their wedding with fans who have been looking forward to this day for a long time. It was clear that Jana and Stephen's wedding was a day full of love, family, and